Battery's at 83%. Signal looks solid, I muttered, tilting the phone so the wide-angle lens caught both my face and the hulking silhouette of St. Eustace Hospital behind me. Live comments fountained up the screen in green and white. Hexaverticus, yes, been waiting all week. Urban Fox 87, this place is cursed. A fit Mia saw it. Take a mask, asbestos, etc. Duh, got my respirator and extra light bars, I said, tapping the filter slung at my hip. Tonight, we finally crack the Psych Wing A part of St. E closed since '94 and supposedly never emptied. 3,800 viewers. Not my record, but good. I raised my crowbar, slid it between plywood sheets, and levered until nails shrieked loose. Wind hissed through the gap like it was inhaling me. Inside, my boots sloshed through half-frozen puddles. The camera's low-lux mode painted the corridor pea green. Graffiti bled neon pink under my UV light. The chat kept pace. Z0, hear that? Like humming. C_skipper. Prob is Mike. Buzz Kitten Quartz tipped $10.00. You got this. Appreciate the tip, KK. I kicked the glass aside. A crumpled gurney lay against the wall, its wheels still, like it had sprinted until it died. I'd mapped the easier wards in earlier streams. Tonight I wanted fresh fear, something the algorithm hadn't chewed to paste. My phone hung from a chest mount so I could keep both hands free. The front-facing overlay in my right eye, a cheap AR contact, showed viewer count, 4,021, then 4,030. Climbing. At the stairwell door, rust filmed the handle so thick it looked flocked. I gave it a shove and stepped onto concrete steps ribboned with vines. Up 2 flights. The air cooled further. I saw my breath, though it wasn't yet winter. The third-floor landing carried a hand-painted sign, Psych A East. The letters bubbled like lesions under the lamination. Wooden doors with wired glass windows lined the corridor, some still locked, others yawning toothless. Okay, fam. Legend says room 313 hosted experimental isolation therapy, I whispered. Patients stayed 3 weeks without lights, radio, anything but the intercom piping recorded screams. I paused for effect, so I thought it'd be a banger place to camp for 30 seconds. Let's get those likes to 5K. Thumbs flew. The number hit 5,117. I turned the knob on 313, surprisingly loose. Door swung and a wedge of total dark spilled over my boots. My light caught walls padded in jaundiced vinyl. An iron fixture crouched overhead where a bulb once hung. The room's center held a restraint chair, leather straps stiff with age. Hexavertex, 313 gang, Y0L0 mode. Yo vid froze? I frowned. The feed in my AR showed stable, but the chat scrolled complaints. Frame drop 619, lagging hard. Urban Fox 87, no audio. Strange. My status HUD read 4G, full bars, bitrate healthy. I reconnected the mic jack anyway. A few "it's back" messages arrived, maybe network ghosts. Chairs bolted, I narrated, rattling a strap so whoever sat here couldn't twitch without permission. I circled once, exhaling fog. A low fizz like soda poured in another room reached my earbud. My hand touched the padded wall. Chill radiated through my glove. Anybody hear that carbonated hiss? I asked. Silence in chat. Actually, emptiness. The message column, normally racing, now showed only my last on-screen poll. Viewer count still read 4,092, but no new lines appeared. I refreshed the overlay. Blank. Weird. I backed out of the cell. The corridor lights, dead before, glowed pale blue now, flickering sequentially like someone testing them. Cold prickled my scalp. The chat restarted suddenly with a torrent. Hexa, verdicts dude WTHU dip for like 2 min C_skipper. Stream cut. When you stepped in. 313, 404 names. We spammed you. No answer. From their perspective I'd vanished, yet my encoder log was continuous. Glitchy cyberspace, I said, forcing a laugh. Let's keep moving. Day room next. I crossed to double doors of the day room. Peeling murals of sailboats and sunsets decorated the wall. The paint curled like dead skin. Furniture lay overturned, as if patients once flipped tables in a synchronized riot. Empty windows framed the city skyline, pinpoints of normal life out there. A slow thunk echoed, maybe a shudder in the wind. I pivoted so the audience could judge. Mia saw it, head count dropping. Graph rabbit, we lost 50 PPU in 10 seconds, I blinked. Viewers, 4,041. 3,992. 3,970. Chat filled with confusion. I typed quickly. Server issues? Anyone booted from stream? Responses arrived, peppered with frustration. User not found, user not found, user not found. The system registered comments, but the handles were missing, replaced by that placeholder, like the platform forgot who spoke. Unease coiled in me. Folks, one more room then we bail, showers then exit, promise. Corridor to the hydrotherapy wing was choked by a chain-link gate. Someone long ago had snipped a man-sized hole convenient for trespassers. I ducked through. The showers formed a row of tiled stalls. Ceiling sprinklers drooped like decapitated flowers. Water spotted my cheek, dripped from above. Odd, because no pipes here had worked in decades. A high-pitched whistle started. Then the entire row of rusted showerheads erupted, spewing black water that stank of rot. The spray hit my coat, lens, everything. Viewers probably got seasick from the camera spasms. Z-Zyro, bro, get out Hexavertex, counted 3.6K stop drop. I lurched backward out of the storm, coughing behind the respirator. The water cut abruptly. I wiped the lens with a microfiber cloth. When I glanced at the overlay, chat had slowed to a crawl, maybe 3 messages a second, practically silence compared to usual. Viewer count, 2,997. I lost 1,000 in a minute. Then, one final message before the column froze again. Urban Fox 87. It's adding us to the rooms. What did that mean? I scrolled, but the feed was locked. No new messages, though the viewer ticker still fell. 2,900, 2,850. Panic thumped my throat. I jogged toward the stairwell. A metallic clank rang behind me. I didn't look. Down one flight. Emergency signs glowed orange now, though no power had fed them earlier. The corridor walls bore fresh graffiti, not there before. Black silhouettes of human forms outlined like chalk, but filled in, not empty. Each figure's head was a scribbled spiral. When my light passed over one, the phone's Face ID sensor briefly recognized it as a living grin. My AR flicked up a name. Urban Fox 87. Then the square vanished, failing to confirm liveness. Sweat cooled to ice along my spine. I tested the stream voice. If you're still watching, spam anything. Silence. Viewer count, 1,921. And plummeting. I bolted for a side office, maybe network interference there. Inside, dusty file cabinets, paper nests. I slammed the door and propped a chair under the knob. On screen, a single username appeared, Saint E Admin. Why are you taking them? I didn't recall a user with that name. They sent again, Saint E Admin. They belong here. I tried to end the broadcast. The app stalled. Timer kept climbing 117 and 43 seconds. A new message, Syntiade Med. You'll fill the last bed. I yanked the battery pack from the phone screen, stayed on. Some bootleg power bleed? No, impossible. It stayed bright, the forward camera still active, showing me trembling. Then the door handle rattled, scraping like nails along wood. The room's only other exit was a connecting door to an exam cubicle. I shoved it open. The cubicle smelled acrid like old copper pennies. A hospital bed squatted center floor, straps dangling. The mattress bulged, as though someone invisible pressed from beneath. I swung the camera. Viewer count now, 660. 6. Figures. The chat unfroze, but every line showed, user not found, repeated. A crash behind. The first door slammed open, chairs skittering. I scrambled through, hauling equipment. The hallway layout didn't match my earlier map. extra junctions stitched onto impossible geometry, loops that fed back. Full building, yes, but not a TARDIS. The app compass spun, a strobe flickered ahead. Surgical theater? I recognized the archway. Or 6. I'd planned to visit next week. Somehow the floor had folded to deposit me there. I stepped through because, behind me, the corridor stretched like taffy, receding. In Or 6, big dome lights hung like alien eyes. My breath steamed. On the operating table lay a human outline beneath a gray sheet. Heart monitor cables dangled useless, but beeped faintly. Impossible without power. The sheet lifted slightly with each beep, as if a chest rose. Against reason, I brushed the cloth aside. Nothing underneath, just indentations molding a perfect, absent body. Monitor flatlined, long tone. The comment section blurred, text warping, air seals snap insulated beyond, air seals snap insulated beyond. As I went to push the base button, the phone blurred. The sheet lifted slightly, with each beeped as if a compliment that kicked, quiet like a shoal, onto a pile of yellowish padding. Air seals snap lipped, ignited ellipse, kilsaxolats, autograph scotch, lip gloss, pissed, oxcal lips, colastic astic ultrasite, viewer count, 313. Same as that room. I backed toward the archway, but met a wall. Or 6 had sealed itself. I turned. The bed was gone. In its place stood a payphone on a metal pedestal, handset hanging. It began to ring, shrill. Against every survival instinct, I lifted it. Hello? Room reserved, a voice buzzed, half static. Admit one, plus audience signed. The phone spit a paper slip into my palm. Admission form, my name pre-typed, signature line blank. Finger bone dry, pen none. I crumpled it, dropped. The floor rippled like water, swallowing the paper. A second slip ejected. I hurled the handset. It tethered back elastic, hitting me in the chest. Screaming seemed appropriate. I screamed. The mic peaked, distortion coughing through speakers I'd never hear. Viewer count, 198 faces maybe, still watching, silent prisoners. I tried another tactic. Burst door to equipment storeroom. Within lay shelves of anesthesia masks, scalpels, IV poles. Most disturbing, phones, hundreds, taped screen out to the walls, each showing a frozen livestream frame of its owner's terrified face. Some I recognized, fellow urban explorers missing for months. Their small screens flickered faintly, as if still buffering. Light behind me dimmed. I spun. Silhouettes emerged between shelves, black cutout, spiraled heads. They advanced silently. I bolted, ducking under IV lines, stumbling into a service elevator vestibule. Luck? Car sat open. Interior lights dead but space real. I slapped the G button. Door wheezed, then ground shut against something. A hand with spiraled head? No, a real hand, flesh. A girl about 19 in a beanie squeezed through. Dude, hold it! I punched door open. She slid in, breathing hard. Around her neck hung a phone streaming. My stream, but she wasn't broadcasting, she was watching. Viewer count on my HUD spiked to 199. Who are you? I gasped. Follower, she said between breaths. Saw you stuck, came inside to help. But chat. People popped out of the list and those shadows grew. We need out. The elevator jerked downward. Your friends joined? I asked. She nodded, eyes glossy. 5 came with me. They're gone swallowed by rooms. It's feeding on us. Place wants an audience. I tried to end stream. Phone won't die, I said. She pulled a hammer from her bag. Break it? Worth a shot. I ripped the phone from chest mount, laid it screen up. She raised the hammer. Before she swung, the screen flashed red. Warning, off air means no air. The elevator stopped. Lights off. A siren wail spiraled upward through the shaft. The hammer clanged useless. Phone unscratched. Her device too glowed red now with that message. Doors slid open on basement level. Darkness like thick oil, yet somewhere a projector word. Stay close, I whispered. We stepped out. The basement corridor sloped, turning lab tile to raw earth. Projected light flickered ahead, painting grainy footage on the walls, my past streams, rooftops, subway tunnels, sewers, audio overlay, my own commentary, cheerful then, but each clip ended with static howl. The basement widened into an auditorium formed of broken pipes for seating. On the far wall hung a screen, actual cinema canvas, and on it a live feed of us standing there, slightly delayed. Viewers. 137. Rows of black silhouettes filled the pipe benches, spiraled heads twitching. They turned as one to face us. Somewhere above, a speaker crackled. Feature presentation. Final admission. Girl spoke, voice shaking. What does it want? An ending, I said, and felt sickly that it required a sacrifice plus a witness ratio. The fewer watchers, the more demanded inside. Idea sparked. We need to cut the audience to 0. If no one's watching, maybe narrative collapses. How? She asked. There's an old lead-line radiology vault. Faraday cage. Might block signal. She nodded. Where? Past morgue, I gestured. We sprinted. Silhouettes rose, spilled from seats, loping after. Hallways warped, but I trusted memory. Left, at boilers, right past laundry ghosts. A stainless door with radiation trefoil appeared. I slammed into it. Handle turned reluctantly. Inside, thick concrete, walls tiled and leaded glass windows. No power, yet my phone glared bright, hungry. We plunged in. Door shut. Locking wheel spun. Breath thundered. Signal bars vanished. Stream timer froze at 1:44 in 2 seconds. Viewer count stuck. 74. Good start, but not 0. Some signal leakage. I searched the chamber with beam, found a row of rolling lead shields. We layered them, building a coffin around the phone. Each slab clanged, deadening the glow. Viewer count slid. 60, 44, 21, 12, 5, 1. We held breath. Last digit pulsed. 1. Wouldn't drop. One viewer remained. Who? I pried a gap. Peeked. On screen. Username. Saint E admin. Of course, the number wouldn't fall while the entity watched from inside the building's own nervous system. We needed to make even that watcher unable. Girl lifted her hammer again. Smash phone? It threatened off-air means no air, I said, but realized threat for me, not for it. Ending stream inside Faraday might trap it here, starve of viewers. Do it, I decided. Hammer crashed. Glass spiderwebbed. Electric scream burst from speaker, then nothing. Screen black finally. Silence. No sirens, no footsteps. My ears rang with pulse. The AR overlay in my eye depended on phone blinked out, leaving darkness. We waited minutes. No one came. I cranked the door wheel. Hallway quiet. Geometry normal. Fluorescent emergency bulbs dead again. We navigated upward, retracing map. No shadows. Ground floor lobbies smelled only of dust. Dawn light seeped through cracks. Outside signal returned. Her phone pinged with notifications. She checked. Your channel's gone. Video's wiped. Fine by me, I said. But one message awaited. No sender, time-stamped exactly when the hammer fell. Room for 2 still reserved. We stared at St. Eustace's dark windows. In one, 3rd floor, 2 silhouettes stood. Ours, watching back. I turned off the phone. Neither of us spoke until the sun cleared the skyline.